Good morning, world.
White privilege is a myth.
He said it, not me. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
As you guys have been hearing, there is a white privilege that is in our midst. Even the queen of all media, Miss Oprah Winfrey, has jumped in.
And as white people, we even the poorest of the poor, I feel, still has a leg up. And it's
and the leg up is what I was saying. You still have your whiteness. That's what the term white privilege is. It means that whiteness still gives you an advantage no matter what.
How much is she worth?
She is worth $2.6 billion. For those you don't know, $1 billion is 1,000 million. So she is 2,000 millionaires, but yet she is oppressed.
So I have the privilege.
You have the privilege.
I have the privilege. What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. Maybe you weren't there. Maybe you missed the meeting. Maybe you're so busy editing our videos you missed the meeting.
Apparently, because I don't have that kind of privilege.
And here's the thing. I think I know what Oprah was trying to say, besides selling her next book. But I think what she was really trying to say is that in her mind, you take Brian, you take me, and we start at square one. And me and Brian talked about this a little bit beforehand. Brian's born in a trailer park. I'm born in some slum. And what she's saying is simply based upon Brian's skin.
No matter where they are on the rung or the ladder of success, they still have their whiteness.
He has a leg up on me that I don't. I don't believe that.
Well, I'll take it further. But what if we both walk in the same interview for a job, let's say? And I'm white. I walk in with my white skin, but I have stringy hair. My pants are down to here.
How you looked in high school.
Thanks. So I walk in there. You walk in with a nice suit, tie. Unless the person is an actual racist, who do you think they're going to pick for the job?
They're probably going to get the person who better presents himself.
Right. So, and that's the whole thing that I have against this whole white privilege. Watch this clip by Jordan Peterson really quick.
The idea of white privilege is absolutely reprehensible. And it's not because white people aren't privileged. We have all sorts of privileges, and most people have privileges of all sorts, and you should be grateful for your privileges and work to deserve them, I would say. But the idea that you can target an ethnic group with a collective crime, regardless of the specific innocence or guilt of the constituent elements of that group, there is absolutely nothing that's more racist than that.
So the point that Jordan Peterson makes is that saying somebody is privileged based on just a group identity is in itself racist.
Right.
Because if me and you walk in, you're going to get the job because you are presented better. Okay? It's individual. You have to judge people individually.
Right.
If you judge people by groups, then that's a racist way to judge.
Right.
So if that interviewer does judge us by the color of our skin, then he's the racist, not the system.
Right. My dad was born in Mississippi. And Oprah was born in Mississippi. You have two individuals that are born in Mississippi. Obviously, Oprah has achieved greater success than my dad, but my dad didn't do too bad. And he always tells me that, Cedric, the reason I came out to California because there was nothing for a black man to do back in those days. So I had to come out here to make something of myself. And with the job that he had, he put me and my sister through private school, provided well for our family. But very similar to Oprah, is because he worked.
But that brings up a good point, because this is, I think, what's being missed nowadays. Is yes, when we were born back in the 60s, there was white privilege, because there was actually laws on the books that discriminated against people of color. Not in 2020.
No.
In fact, let's look at stats. There's a reason why the Asian community is suing Harvard. Black and Hispanics actually have an advantage to get into those schools right now. We know that there's individual racist people.
Right.
I admit that. I admit there are racist white people. But I also admit there are racist black people.
No, that's not true.
Country has been taken from you by the synagogue of Satan, the satanic Jews that control every everything and mostly everybody.
White folks are going down. And Farrakhan, by God's grace, has pulled the cover off of that satanic Jew.
Yes, there are racist people, but what white privilege is talking about is systemic racism, right? That's the big term.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. I don't. You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that.
Do you believe that it exists systemically?
No. That's saying that there's an organized thing in place to keep black people oppressed.
Right.
Or minorities oppressed.
Right. No, POCs.
POCs, yes. I can't, all these new terms, I can't get them right.
But not Asians.
Right, exactly. And I want to say, like, with Oprah again, I mean, here you have a woman who was brought up in poverty. She was abused as a child.
Yes, she had a tough
childhood, but yet she fought through that. And I was just thinking about, as she went on to gain success, she started out as a weather woman, for those who don't know, and she kept climbing that rung, climbing that ladder until eventually she had the Oprah Winfrey Show, which was a huge hit. And from that tree, from that branch, now let's look at these three people: Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, Susie Orman. Did they have white privilege or did they have Oprah privilege?
How about hard-working privilege?
Right.
Hard-working privilege. If you're black, do you have to work harder? Possibly. But also, if you're short, you might have to work harder. If you're not as attractive, you might have to work harder. Thanks, buddy. You have to judge people individually. So yes, certain people have advantages. Certain people have privilege.
Right.
We talked about this before. I think that Obama's kids probably have a little bit more privilege than my kids.
Right. And with the three people that I mentioned, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, and Susie Orman, they were good at what they did in their area. But the fact that Oprah endorsed them really catapulted their career. And I'll even say this: I think Barack being elected president had a lot to do with the Oprah effect.
Yeah, Oprah's a kingmaker.
Yeah.
A king and queen maker.
Yeah.
I mean, she became so powerful even without white privilege.
Yeah.
So if I put this chart up, here's a chart of people from somebody really paley, pasty white all the way to the darkest person I could find on the internet. So where does the white privilege start? What spectrum does it start? Does it start right in the middle, as you kind of get lighter?
Right.
I mean, how can you say somebody has white privilege when there's all different tones? My kids are half Hispanic. Sometimes they look white. And then if I Photoshop dark hair on my daughter, she looks Hispanic.
Right.
I mean, so when she has dark hair, she doesn't have the privilege, but if she has the blonde hair, she has privilege?
And the thing is, we're trying to fight the racism, we're trying to fight this divide that you're talking about, and I think Morgan Freeman said that in another clip.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
I'm not going to refer to you as a white man. You're not going to refer to me as a black man. We're Cedric and Brian.
Right.
And then we'll refer to it that way and stop emphasizing color so much.
We need to judge people individually, not by their group status. And that's in any case. So I don't fault Oprah for being successful. Some people fault people for being successful.
Oh, no.
I mean, she is a successful person. I give it to her. She's living the dream. But then to turn around and take all that success and then point a finger at a group of people, a group of white people, and say, you have privilege.
I'm going to tell the black kids, well, you're not as good as the white, so...
Yeah.
I don't get that.
And for all of the white people out there apologizing for being white, that is so condescending to black people, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cedric. I'm sorry I'm white.
No, it's okay. You can't help it. It did hurt us back in the days when we played basketball. I had to pick up the slack a little bit.
Wow. That's racist. But it's true. Even if there is privilege, let me take that back. There is privilege, but you can't assign it to a group. That's the problem. When you assign it to a group, it's like saying, okay, that's like the old Ku Klux Klan. Whites are superior. You're taking a group and making them superior. No, that white guy might be superior to that black guy, but then that black guy is superior to that white guy in a specific category.
Right.
If you're talking about a mathematician, that black guy is a much better mathematician than I would be,
Right.
being white. But it has nothing to do with his skin color. He's an individual that's better.
Thank you guys for watching. Again, leave it in the comment section what you guys feel about white privilege. Is it a myth or is there some reality to it? Let us know what you think. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and share our videos with everyone you know on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever social media platform you use. Make sure you share it with us. And until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See you later.